Greetings family, welcome to Tony Barbershop, and today we have a special friend inside the shop there. I literally just bump into him. I've seen him for many years, and you know, someone who I know for a very long time, and I understand now he's a big time movie star in Germany as an actor. You know, but I mean, I got a lot of respect because I know he's a man who used to do dancing, you know, in the early days. And you know, it's been over 20 years now, so trust me, things has really changed now. But Dennis, first thing to do, how you keeping, brother?
Pleasure. I'm doing very well.
Yeah?
Very well, yes.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
But Dennis, as you know, it's been a gap. I haven't seen for 20 years. But give a little background about yourself, my brother, you know?
Well,
and the journey and everything, yeah.
Well, it's been a very interesting journey, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because as you know, I've always been dancing, and it took me from stages to stages. Like I started with I went to also dance school in London Studio Centre.
Okay.
Then I went to Laban school, and I was always going forward. I wanted to just go forward and forward and start. And then it happened that Martin Booth, me, and other friends was called for Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame.
Okay then.
And the Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame, we auditioned, we got the job, and Martin was playing two roles. So
I think he played Gary. Did he play Gary Sobers?
as well. He played Gary Sobers as well.
Yeah.
I played Jim Brown, the football player, and also I was the assistant or like a swing for Desmond Tutu.
Okay.
And also an African dancer.
Okay.
First of all, we were dancers. First of all, so and they gave us roles to play when other people couldn't turn up. You know how it works. But yeah, from there, also it increased us further to go to other auditions, and then came Starlight Express. And Martin Booth got the job. I got the job. It was a very funny situation because, as I mentioned to you before, it was a Starlight were looking for new dancers and new people to take over the old cast. And we auditioned and we got the job. Apparently it was everything wonderful. And Arlene Phillips, the choreographer, said, well, we need you in Germany. Is it possible? We would like you to go to Germany with the show. And me and Martin were like, whoa, yeah, but we can't speak German. She said, just no, it's okay. We'll teach you that. Don't worry, we'll teach you German. And it was a success. We went to Germany. And since then, I must say, I've never left Germany. I only come back to visit my family, you know, and friends. But it kept me out there because it's all a challenge. Everything's been a challenge.
It's quite interesting because you mentioned Martin a couple of times, and as I sent you earlier on, me and Martin we're very close friends.
Yes,
In fact, one of my best friends, and you know he's joined the ancestors, you know. But you know, there's no doubt Martin had an impact on not only me but many of us.
Me as well. He influenced me a lot.
You know,
really.
But as we talk about Martin, I mean, what was Martin like to you as a friend?
I mean, I can only say one thing. This person, it was like a character that no matter how bad things were, it could be the show. When someone says the show must go on, Martin had that in his life. You know, Martin was a kind of a person. He never gets frustrated. He never gets angry. He never shouts at anybody. He just takes everything on board. You know, he enjoys doing it.
And finally, he's a very laid back,
very laid back
character.
Very laid back.
And I know it was aware that he was doing workshops around relationships.
That's right.
Yeah.
Relationship workshops. Unfortunately I wasn't able to take part in these workshops, but I know of them through other people who have been attending. Yes.
Okay.
And it's an inspiring situation, very inspiring. Because there's a lot of people who are, I must say, a lot of people are lost. There's a lot of lost people running around, and they do need some kind of like guidance.
Right.
And Martin was one of those figures that could guide.
That's right.
Through experiences and the way he would, you know, make people feel like
he had a presence about
that personality was like gold dust.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring it back around to your thing about Germany, right? And as you know, as you said, you're an actor.
Yes.
Right. I mean, what was it like in Germany? That's the first thing. And as an actor out there, as a black actor, I mean, yeah.
Well, it's actually one of those experiences where, I speak from my experience. While we was doing Starlight Express, the musical, we was all enclosed into a certain, it was like a special kind of company, because they took care of us. That means we didn't have to worry so much about whether our German speaking was really perfect or not. We had to just make sure that that it was perfect for the show. So he was just doing the show under like En suite is every day. We would do 8 shows a week.
8 shows a week.
That's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 show a day, and then 2 shows on Saturdays and 2 shows on Sundays. So we were really like, we were not mixed with a lot of German people. We were just like Americans, English, Scottish, Irish. There were a lot of people working in there, but not a lot of Germans. It was just like more for English-speaking people. After leaving Starlight Express, then I realized the difficulties in Germany.
Right.
The difficulties are, you do have to speak German for them to understand you. And that was 1989, 1990. Like I said, it wasn't the norm in Germany to have a lot of black people. Even to see them performing, it was like they look at you on the street as if like you came from another planet. It was really like that. But in the town where I was living was Bochum. That's where Martin and me were living in this Starlight Express for this job. That area was very like I said, not much black people were there. So there was two ways of looking at it. Either we felt really good about living there, or you felt like I should go home now, because it's like you get this. I don't say the word racism because it's like it's too heavy. It's not racism. It's called they don't know.
They don't know.
And what they don't know, they don't know.
Because basically they don't see black people at all.
They don't see black people that often, you know. So, when I got there, I mean, to Germany, they see us on TV. They think I was Eddie Murphy. They would think, oh, there's Eddie Murphy, or there's Bob Marley. They just like bring names up that are already famous.
So, I mean, for you to really move forward, you had to learn the German.
I had to learn German, and I did. It was, well, I say I did, I'm doing it even every day, because you can't learn it and think that's it. There's always something new, because the generation changes. They change the accents. Like in London, you know, as a generation grow up, they change their accents. They change their ways of saying hello, why say well. All these things are changing, so you have to be up to date. And I did shows where I have to have teachers to help me to pronounce the words correctly, like phonetic teachers. And it's like really hard, because you're left on your own and you have to remember this stuff. It's really difficult, especially when you're not born with it. You know, because when you're not born to learn, when you're not born to learn, when you're not born with this language, it's very difficult to say like, Ich heiße Dennis Batchelor, which means my name is Dennis Batchelor. And it's many things like, I live there. It would be Ich wohne da. It's very difficult, but at the same time, it's very easy. When you do, because I've been there for 20 years now.
20 years, okay. And in terms of socializing and friends, and how was it? Did it take a long time to fit in, or?
Oh yes, yes. It takes a long time to fit in. These days, it doesn't take a long time because most people speak English.
Okay.
It's developed that way. Right. I live now in Berlin. I've been living in Berlin for quite a while, and it's really multicultural, like London.
Right.
Everyone speaks English. They can understand English, and it's I would say multicultural. Compared to London, it's almost the same.
So, do you have the chance to meet people, bump into people, friends from here or ever?
Yes. Well, fortunately, the people that I've come when I left London to go to Germany, the people I left London with, they were doing Starlight Express. Okay. And since the time when I left, we separated. You know, you go to different towns, you do different projects, and you try to go further in your career. And yes, I sometimes bump into them. When I come to London, I bump into them here as well. But it's very short. It's a very short visit. I even go to the schools that I was training before to say hello. I'm Dennis and I'm back again, and that's really nice. They're very impressed that I'm doing the same thing. Because some people, they kind of give up, because I think it's about, well, I'm inspired by my own beliefs, because I wished to be doing theatre, and I'm still doing it, but it's also, you have to take the rough with the smooth. Yeah,
because one of the things you said earlier on, that is really a challenge. You want to stretch yourself, really.
Yes.
And you went out there, and it was a bit of a, well, you had to stretch yourself.
Oh, really?
But what's interesting, that you learn a lot about yourself being that kind of environment as well.
Oh yeah, I think that's where the real challenges are, because when you think you know who you are, you don't really know who you are until you're somewhere else and you realize, oh, how do I deal with that situation? How do I get out of that situation? How do I compromise? Because some people, that some people, most of us, don't know the word compromise. And that word compromise really comes to the point when you're not at home anymore, you're not with your family anymore, and you're really out there on your own, and that's when you realize, have I got patience? Am I compromising? A lot of things go through your mind, and then you have to sit down and think, should I be here or shouldn't I be here? Because I think why I stayed there because I want the challenges.
Yeah. What does the future hold for you personally? What's your long-term goal, or you want to achieve?
What I want to achieve, to be honest, I'm achieving it now. In a short sentence. To how my future, I honestly can't really answer that question because, as you know, Mr. Martin Booth also must have had a vision in his life and had a future, and sometimes we reach them, sometimes we don't. And I believe in my future is just every day as I live. And what I see, what I would like to do in my future is everything I've learned, everything I've actually picked up in England and where I trained and the things I've actually experienced. I would like to come back to England or to London and further that to the young children, to the younger generation. Give them something to be inspired for, because I would be a good, to look up to. In German they say Vorbild. A Vorbild is someone that you look up to, like, oh, there is a word for that. What's when you look up to somebody?
The celebrity.
Role model.
Role model, that's the word. Yes, I was looking for the word. Role model. See, I've been away too long. I forget the word. So, but yeah, a role model, and I think I would play a good part in this role because of the age I am now. I'm now 47 years old, and all my friends must have had children, and their children it would be perfect for me to bring their children up in the way that it worked for me.
I just want to bring it back because obviously you've been away for 20 years. How do you look at things now than 20 years ago? Because when I know you, it was a run around in Glazemore school, as you know, I used to play football. It's been very much with Dave Chase and that crew there. And how do you see things now? It'd be interesting to see how you look at things now. Well, you've been away now. How do you just look at things? Because obviously things that must be changed, and you look at things differently now.
Yes, I do have my experience. I've seen so many things that I'm laid back. I'm not so hectic. Like I was hectish. I was always hectish before. I was always like wanting to go there, do this, do that. Black Heroes or Starlight Express. I was just like wanting to just do because I had a lot of energy. And how I see things now is, I think I feel good about myself because I've seen a lot of things. I've done many things, and I've made a lot. One thing I can say to you that I really am proud about: I make people happy. I make them laugh. I make them smile. I make them cry. I like to. What I was given, to give it back. It came from God or my parents, and I've got it. So me keeping it myself is not helping me. I've got to give it back to the community or somewhere. And I do see London and England totally different in a certain way, because I think everything's going too fast. That's my opinion. It's going too fast, and where we are walking faster than things we're looking at.
Okay.
You see, we don't have time to look and concentrate and think about it. We just go.
So, in terms of friends you had 20 years ago, do you still keep in touch with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, luckily we have the time when I was here, and there was no computers to play around with. Maybe Atari, the Atari game, but that wasn't internet. And because of internet and Facebook and all these Skypes and all these things, you're more in touch. You're more in touch. And but when I do come to London, I do see how my friends have, they've changed their jobs, they got experiences, they're doing other things as well. And I really must say to you, I'm so proud to come back and see my friends as I've seen them when I was at school, like bumping into you. It's like you don't forget something. Some things you cannot forget. It's in the face, it's in the characteristics, and like I think you would say the same thing. All I've done in my life is basically just I'm the same person. I've experienced a lot of things, and I really appreciate that you asked me these questions, because a lot of people don't ask me these questions.
Okay.
They take it for granted that, hello Dennis, how are you? You living in Germany? Oh yeah, bye bye. And but they don't ask me what it's like because it's an invisible prison, an invisible prison. Like being in you're in prison. I don't know what it's like to be in prison, but it's like being in prison, but there's no walls, but you feel you've just been stared at the whole time. You know, everything you do, someone's watching you doing something, you know, and you feel like you never feel free. It's an invisible prison. That's in my mind, what I think.
And I understand that reggae music is quite big in Germany. I understand.
It's really the hit. I mean, half the time people don't understand why I don't sing reggae and I do musicals because I've got dreadlocks and I look like the typical black person who's supposed to be singing Bob Marley songs and ragga songs, but actually I sing musicals, and they like, huh? But you're black and you got dreadlocks. I said, yeah, but that doesn't mean I have to sing reggae and jump around like everyone else. You know, it's just that it's for me just a desire. It's a desire, and the desire is. It's not what we look like, it's what we have inside of us.
Okay.
So that I'm wearing dreadlocks doesn't mean I believe in everything other people who wear dreadlocks believe in.
You have a stereotype.
Yeah. It's a kind of a stereotyping thing. I don't mind being stereotyped as a professor, you know, or a doctor, or someone or a lawyer. I wouldn't mind being stereotyped there, but being stereotyped sometimes is not to your advantage.
Okay.
It's not to your advantage.
And final question will be now, how you look at the future in terms of black actors in Germany?
That's actually growing. It's growing because there was a point where a lot of Americans were in Frankfurt. It's a town where they had occupied a part of Germany. Americans occupied a part of Germany, and England also occupied a part. So there were also black soldiers there, of course, and black soldiers get married and have children, and the children become mixed, and they get very good education. They get very good education in Germany, and a lot of actors are mixed, like we don't, the word we say half caste or not, mixed, but they still have the black attitudes of what the parents have brought them up with, but living in Germany, they have the language very perfect.
Right.
That's what opens the door for black actors in Germany. But as I say that, it's kind of funny because they're starting to speak English now. So they're learning English while we're learning German. But one thing is very important for the Germans to understand that you understand their language. That's what they call trust.
Okay.
If you could speak the language as they speak it, that's trust. They will trust you because they know that you understand what I mean, and you know, because it's often that because if my German is that bad, they will correct me in English. Okay. So that means their English will get better, and my German's going to not get so good. Yeah. So I have to really demand that to speak German to be understood.
Okay. And do you follow any football team out there in the?
Well, yes and no, because they're also, I think in Germany they're also fanatics, just like in London and England. They're fanatics. They love football really a lot. I've been to 2 football matches in Germany. It's an experience because it's not like you feel being in the stadium and being the only like black guy in a stadium with 30,000 people, and just it's another experience. It's really another experience. But like I said, I go back to really an important point. It's not a racism thing. It's just like a not being used to something.
Right.
You see what I mean? And after the years, they get used to it. So it's really, like I said, it's grown. It's become very much more multicultural. The future of Germany, no one knows. No one knows what's going to happen in London. But as far as I'm concerned, if I could play a part, living in Germany and living in London, and at the same time educating the young ones in London, and also trying to make some kind of a parallel between. So, as in Germany, they learn English at school.
Okay.
That's why their English is so good.
Okay.
From little
That's
children.
part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in our curriculum, we don't have German. We just have naturally French, Spanish, or things that we're never going to use because you have to go there. When you learn a language, to really master the language, you have to go there.
To experience.
And when you go there and live it, they will never leave you again.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay then. So, Brother Dennis,
thank you very much.
Brother. Respect.
Thank you very much.
Respect. What's respect in German?
Respect.
Yeah?
It's called Respect. Yes.
Full respect.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then, fantastic.
Yeah.
So again, we have brother Dennis inside the house, and what a in-depth philosopher we have, just pouring out his soul to us. And you can say Dennis is very sincere. He's been on a journey, and he's really enjoying that journey. So again, give thanks to the great man, brother Dennis.
Bless.
Blessing love.
Bless. Thank you.
Blessing love.